told you to wait, to be patient, to trust the timing, so you did. You waited for clarity, for signs, for someone to say now's the moment, but nothing came. Just silence, just spinning thoughts, and so you stayed safe, still, almost invisible. But what they never told you is this: there is no perfect moment, no final sign, no permission slip for transformation, only pressure, only a quiet ache that keeps returning, only the undeniable sense that something has outgrown its space. And it's you. You're not stuck because life paused. You're stuck because you kept shrinking to fit what no longer fits. And now that tightness in your chest, it isn't fear, it's truth pushing through. And today, you stop pretending you don't know. Virgo, something inside you has been stirring. Hasn't it? Not the kind of noise you can see or explain, but a quiet rumble deep in your chest, like a pressure building, like a whisper saying, it's coming. And maybe you've been brushing it off, blaming the stress, the weather, Mercury retrograde. But if you're honest, you felt it for weeks now, maybe months. Something's been off. Something's been moving underground. You've been waking up tired even when you sleep. Random waves of emotion, flashes of memory, dreams that don't make sense but leave a feeling you can't shake. That's not random. That's your soul sending signals. It's your inner system warning you that the timeline is shifting. You're not broken. You're not crazy. You're tuned in. There's a kind of ache that comes before big change, not loud, but persistent. And Virgo, you feel it more than most because you're built to notice the subtle. While others look for fireworks, you catch the flicker in someone's eyes. You hear what isn't said, and right now, the silence is screaming. What's coming is not chaos, even if it looks like it from the outside. It's not destruction, even if it breaks some of your plans. What's coming is activation. You're about to be launched into a version of yourself you didn't know was possible, but that your soul has been begging for. And no, it won't feel like you're ready, because readiness doesn't come from spreadsheets or analysis. It comes from willingness, from surrender, from saying, I'm scared, but I'll move anyway. Let's go deeper. Based on when you were born, this weekend may hit you differently. If you're a Virgo born between August 23rd and September 2nd, you might be facing a professional shakeup, an unexpected opportunity, a sudden pivot, or even a chance to leave something behind that's been draining you. It may look messy at first, but don't confuse discomfort with danger. Sometimes, what scares us most is exactly what sets us free. For those born between September 3rd and 12th, your heart's the battleground. Someone may finally say what they've been holding back, or you may be forced to say what you've swallowed for too long. That truth may sting. But unspoken truths don't disappear. They just ferment, and your spirit is done carrying emotional poison. Let it out. And for Virgos born from September 13th to 22nd, this weekend brings a mirror, a sudden shift in how you see yourself, maybe a breakdown in confidence, or a breakthrough in identity. A voice in your head might whisper, I'm not who I thought I was. And that's okay. That's evolution. Who you were was just a draft. What's coming is the real thing, no matter your date of birth. The message is the same. You're not being punished. You're being realigned. Your old coping tools won't work here. Not because they were wrong, but because you've outgrown them. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. The bomb that's about to go off in your life, it's divine timing. It's the universe saying, now, not next week, not after you're sure, not once you understand everything. Now. So ask yourself, can you feel it? Not the fear, but the readiness underneath it. Can you feel the part of you that's tired of preparing and just wants to leap? Then take a breath. Virgo, it's time. You don't have to know all the answers right now. This isn't a test. This is an invitation. an invitation to drop the checklist and trust the shift. Maybe you've always been the planner, the fixer, the one everyone counts on to hold it together. But who holds you when things fall apart? The truth is, you've been carrying too much for too long. Expectations, old definitions of success, silent rules about who you're supposed to be. This weekend asks you to lay those burdens down, just for a moment, to give yourself space to wonder, what if I don't need to control this? What if this isn't a crisis, but a crossing over? That shift in perspective changes everything. Suddenly, you're not being broken, you're being opened, not falling apart, but falling into place. Because that ache in your chest, it's not weakness. It's your soul making space for the life you're meant to live. Let this be the weekend you stop rehearsing and start living. Let this be the moment you stop waiting to be chosen and realize you already are. Let's talk about control. Virgo, your comfort zone is planning, predicting, organizing every variable so that nothing surprises you. You've built systems in your head, flowcharts, safety nets, backup plans for the backup plans. And that's not a flaw, it's one of your gifts. You're wired for excellence. But even excellence has a shadow. And for you, that shadow is overthinking. You've trained yourself to believe that the more you analyze, the safer you'll be. If you can just run through every possible scenario, you'll avoid pain. If you can prepare enough, you won't have to be caught off guard. But here's the truth that stings a little: life doesn't wait for your checklist, and it definitely doesn't follow your script. This weekend, life is going to interrupt your process. Something will happen that doesn't fit into any of your spreadsheets. And when it does, you're going to feel that familiar surge of anxiety, like you're being pushed without a parachute. But what if I told you that free fall is exactly what you need? Because the thing about control is, it can become a cage, a gilded one, sure lined with logic, comfort, predictability, but a cage nonetheless. And deep down, Virgo, you've outgrown it. You've sensed it. That restlessness isn't random. It's your soul rattling the bars, saying, "Let me out." There comes a moment in every Virgo's life when the need to live becomes louder than the need to be prepared. This is that moment, the bomb that's going off. It's not here to punish you. It's here to release you. And it won't wait for you to feel ready. It won't wait for you to understand every step. It won't care about your list of pros and cons. It will just happen. And when it does, your only job will be to breathe, stay present, and move with it, not against it. And here's the beautiful twist: once you stop resisting, you'll realize you were never in danger. You were being redirected. The ground didn't fall out from under you, it shifted so you could stand taller. Growth isn't tidy. Awakening doesn't come with perfect timing. But that doesn't mean you're not ready. You've been preparing for this in ways you don't even realize. Every time you listened to your gut and ignored it. Every time you held back your truth out of fear. Every time you felt the urge to leap but stayed still. Those moments are catching up now, and they're turning into momentum. So here's the invitation. Can you meet this weekend's disruption with curiosity instead of panic? Can you take that leap? Not because you know how it ends, but because you finally trust how it begins. You're not losing control. You're regaining freedom. That's what this is. That's what the bomb really is, not destruction, but release. Now let's breathe together. Inhale the unknown, exhale the illusion of control, and step forward. Even if your hands are shaking, this is not the end, it's the escape. Think back to when you were a child. You didn't need a plan to play, to run, to fall, and laugh again. You just did. Somewhere along the way, someone taught you that safety meant strategy, that success meant structure, and you've honored that. You've made it your way of surviving. But now, Virgo, it's time to remember how to live. Living doesn't mean recklessness. It means openness. It means saying yes before you've got every answer. It means trusting the wisdom in your breath, your body, your instincts. And even if that feels like a foreign language right now, it's one you were born fluent in, you've just forgotten how to speak it. So, this weekend, when the ground shifts, when the plan goes sideways, when the thing you thought would hold suddenly falls apart, take it as proof. Proof that the universe sees your strength. It knows you're ready to experience the kind of growth that can't be scheduled. And you are ready. Not because you feel ready, but because you're still here, still breathing, still showing up. And that's more than enough. You're still here. So I know something in this is real for you. Let's go even deeper. Let's be real for a moment. Virgo, some truths are heavy. Some conversations burn on the tip of your tongue for months, even years. You think, maybe I'll bring it up next week. Maybe when the timing is right. Maybe when I have the perfect words. But perfect words never come. And time keeps slipping. This weekend, time's up. That situation you've been tolerating, whether it's a job that drains your spirit or a relationship where you feel unseen, it's about to confront you face to face. Not in theory, not in thought. In real time, the universe is tired of watching you play small, avoid conflict, or pretend that discomfort means safety. It's going to push you, hard, but not to hurt you, to heal you. Think of this as an emotional detox. Yes, it might sting, but what comes out was never meant to stay inside forever. Avoiding these moments of honesty doesn't protect you, it prolongs your pain. Speaking your truth isn't betrayal, it's self-respect. And Virgo, you've earned the right to be heard. Now, let's talk about unpredictability, your old nemesis. You've built a life around reducing uncertainty. But some of life's most powerful shifts happen when you're caught off guard. The things you couldn't plan for. Those are the moments that made you who you are. And more importantly, they showed you who you're capable of becoming. This weekend may feel like a test, but it's actually a reveal. You're not failing. You're finding out how strong you really are. Something unexpected might fall apart, a plan, a dynamic, a belief you held tight for too long. But look closer, what's breaking is what's no longer aligned. That version of you that always says yes when you mean no, it's done. That mask you wear to keep the peace while you suffer silently, it's cracking. Good. Let it, because in that rupture, something honest gets to breathe. The real you. The version that doesn't apologize for needing more. The one who doesn't stay quiet to keep others comfortable. The one who understands that disruption isn't always damage sometimes. It's direction. Let the wave come. Let it wash away the stale. Yes, it's messy, but so is growth. You're not falling apart. You're falling into alignment. The plan might not be working, but the truth is, and that's where real power comes from. Not from being perfectly composed, but from being undeniably honest. Now is not the time to retreat. It's the time to rise. Remember a time when something didn't go as planned, maybe a canceled trip, a missed opportunity, or a last-minute change. At first, it felt like failure. But in hindsight, it rerouted you to something better. Didn't it? That's the energy of this moment. This isn't just about ending things. It's about beginning again with more clarity. When old beliefs crumble, you create space for something new, something more aligned with who you've become. It's no longer about maintaining peace at the cost of your own voice. It's about choosing peace that includes you. And yes, that might mean facing temporary tension, a difficult conversation, an emotional release. But you don't have to fear that, because when you speak from your truth, even if your voice shakes, healing follows. The people who are meant to stay will meet you there. The ones who don't, they were chapters, not your story. So let yourself evolve out loud. You're not too much, you're not too sensitive, You're not being dramatic. You're being honest. And that's what this new chapter demands: radical honesty. Not to hurt anyone, but to finally include yourself in the truth. You've outgrown quiet tolerance. You're being called to bold expression. And that, Virgo, is where your next breakthrough lives. Perfection. It's the word you've been chasing. Virgo, the silent standard you measure everything against: your work, your relationships, your healing, your growth. Somewhere along the line, you learned that if something wasn't perfect, it wasn't enough. And if you weren't perfect, maybe you weren't enough either. But let's break that illusion today. Perfection isn't real. It's a moving target. And the more you chase it, the more it slips away. What's real progress? Presence, honesty, being fully in the moment. Even if that moment is messy or uncertain, you've missed out on beautiful opportunities because they didn't come wrapped in perfect timing or clean packaging. You've held back your joy waiting for the right moment. But life doesn't happen in the perfect. It happens in the present, in the here, the now, the raw. You don't need to earn love by being flawless. You don't need to delay happiness until every box is checked. You're allowed to show up exactly as you are: cracked, courageous, and completely human. So let this be your permission slip to release the need to be perfect, to trust that being real is enough. Because Virgo, the world doesn't need your perfection, it needs your presence. Think about the moments that changed your life. Were they flawless or were they raw, surprising, even uncomfortable? The truth is, the most powerful memories often come from imperfection. The unplanned conversation, the messy cry, the choice made with a trembling voice. Those are the maybe this isn't just a video, maybe it's timing, the kind that only makes sense after everything shifts. You're watching this at a certain time of day, morning light, late at night, or maybe in a quiet moment between things. That timing, it's not random. If a single word has been living in your chest lately, one you haven't said out loud, type it below. Sometimes naming it is how we free it. Virgo, your mind loves logic. You crave facts, patterns, things you can measure and prove. But there's another part of you, the part that just knows, the part that feels before it thinks. That's your intuition. And this weekend, it's speaking louder than ever. You may not have a clear plan. You may not understand why something feels off or urgent, but your gut is picking up signals your brain hasn't caught yet. That's not irrational. That's wisdom, the kind that doesn't need spreadsheets. Start paying attention to the subtleties, the tightness in your chest when someone speaks, the calm that washes over you when you imagine a different choice. These are not random feelings. They are messages. When you feel paralyzed by overthinking, pause. Place your hand on your heart and ask, what do I really want right now? Not what's safe, not what looks good, but what feels right. Then listen. Don't rush to explain it. Just trust that your heart speaks in a language your soul remembers. You've spent years training your intellect. Now it's time to train your trust, because the next step won't come with certainty. It will come with feeling, and you already have that inside you. Let your intuition lead. It knows the way even when your mind doesn't. It might feel strange at first, letting go of needing all the answers, but freedom lives there, in the quiet space between thoughts, in the pause before reaction. That's where truth lives, and your truth is ready to be heard. You've been carrying so much on your own, Virgo. Quietly, constantly. Maybe you're the one everyone leans on, the problem solver, the calm voice in the storm. And because of that, you've started to believe that no one's really there for you in return. That support is something you give, not something you receive. But here's the truth, you were never meant to do all of this alone. There's a force around you. Call it the universe, spirit, divine guidance, or something nameless. But it's been holding you through the chaos, even when you didn't realize it. That conversation you narrowly avoided, that opportunity that showed up just in time, that moment you felt strangely protected for no reason. That wasn't luck. That was alignment. You're being guided not just in big life moments, but in the small, invisible ones too. The missed calls, the gut feelings, the sudden clarity. These are signs. Virgo, you're not alone. You've never been. It's time to shift how you think about strength. True strength isn't doing everything by yourself. It's knowing when to ask for help, when to lean on something bigger, when to say, I don't have to carry this alone. Your mind will try to fight this. It will tell you to stay in control. But your soul knows better. Your soul has been whispering or maybe screaming that it's time to soften, to trust, to believe that what's ahead is held, not random. And when the pressure rises this weekend, remember this: you're surrounded. Even in the stillness, even in the confusion, especially in the unknown, you're being supported by something greater than fear. And that presence isn't asking you to be perfect. It's just asking you to stay open. Open your hands. Open your heart. Help is already here. There's also a reason you're hearing this message now. Not earlier, not later, but at this precise moment in your journey. Because timing is not coincidence. It's orchestration. And you've arrived at the exact place where surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. This force around you, it doesn't need you to do more. It needs you to believe more in yourself, in the process, in the quiet knowing that what's falling away is making space for something better. You're not losing your grip. You're being asked to let go of what was never meant to be held so tightly. Say it out loud if you need to. I am not alone. I am supported. I am guided. And I am safe to trust what's unfolding. This is it. Virgo. The moment after the bomb goes off. Not smoke and rubble, but clarity. Stillness. The space where something new can finally grow. You've spent so much time preparing, anticipating, trying to get everything just right before you let yourself live. But life doesn't wait. And now, neither should you. This isn't about forcing bold moves or rushing toward big decisions. It's about one brave thing showing up honestly, imperfectly, completely. You've waited long enough for the right timing, the right signs, the perfect level of certainty. But what if this is it? What if now is the time to begin again? Just as you are. Look around. Feel it. This weekend didn't come to destroy your life. It came to reset it. To realign you with the version of yourself that doesn't need to control everything to feel safe. The version that trusts. The version that's willing to risk discomfort in order to claim joy. And joy is coming. Not the curated kind. Not the social media highlight reel kind. But the kind that arrives when you finally say yes to yourself. So, what happens next? You stop holding your breath. You stop negotiating with your fears. You start listening to that quiet voice within that's been asking for more truth, more freedom, more you. Let go of needing a 5-step plan. Let go of thinking you need permission. Let go of the fear that tells you you're not ready. Because Virgo, you are. Ready doesn't mean fearless. It means willing. And you are willing, aren't you? The people who are meant for you will feel your truth and rise to meet it. The opportunities aligned for you won't miss you just because you're messy or uncertain. What's meant for you isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be present. That's your only job from now on. To keep showing up, to keep choosing growth, even when it's scary. To keep trusting that everything you've been through wasn't a detour, it was preparation. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one area of your life where you feel the bomb is going off? Is it your career, a relationship, your sense of identity, share it in the comments. Speak it into the light, because when you name it, you reclaim your power. And if this message resonated, if it spoke to something deep inside, you don't keep it to yourself. Someone else might need this exact reminder today. Send it to a friend. Tag someone you love. Be the light for someone else while you're stepping into yours. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What you're experiencing this weekend is just the beginning. We'll be walking through this next chapter together with more guidance, more truth, and more space to be real. And above all, remember this: you don't need to go back to who you were before this shift. You didn't lose anything essential. You found something deeper. This bomb didn't ruin you. It revealed you. Your softness is not weakness. Your questions don't make you broken. Your readiness doesn't need to look like certainty. It just needs to look like movement. One breath at a time. One step. One truth. This is your time. Not to be perfect, but to be real. Not to impress, but to align. Not to survive, but to expand. So take that first step. Even if your voice trembles. Even if your hands shake. Because that step, it will change everything. You're not who you were a week ago, and thank God for that. Now go live like it. And if you're still scared, that's okay. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal, a sign that you're standing at the edge of something meaningful, something real. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving anyway. And you, Virgo, were made for that kind of bravery. This isn't just a message, it's a mirror. And if you've seen something in yourself today, hold on to it. Don't explain it away. Don't shrink it down. Let it grow. You've earned the right to begin again, fully, freely, unapologetically. Now take that leap.